This M2 here is slow, but by the end of the day, it will not be. That's because finally, my G87 M2 is going to be getting a tune on it. And it's not going to be getting a standard Century off tune. Today we're going to be doing a similar thing to what we did with the G42. We've got a piggyback tune going on this car. We're with the guys down at AREEVE'S Performance, and they have developed a custom piggyback tune for this car, and hopefully it's going to put a lot more power through the rear wheels. At the moment it's running about 460 brake horsepower. That's what BMW state. We're going to put that to the test because Aaron has a dyno here, so we're going to test the stock power. We're then going to put a piggyback tune on the car that's being developed by the guys at AREEVE'S, and then we're also then going to test the power difference after. So it's all coming right up. Let's go and do it. This is AREEV'S actual M2. This has been fully decked out with the TR87 kit already. Other than the world's biggest sun strip as well, by the way, Aaron. Rear wing as well, which looks quite nice. This is already running the piggyback, so might be able to get a little drive in that, but if not, we're going to be doing this as well. And also, the car's going to be getting an alignment whilst we're down here because we've been running the Cobra height adjustable suspension now for about 1,000 miles, so it's overdue. But let's get the car inside because I'm getting one. Should be driving a little bit nicer after today. Car is now on the ramp. Aaron's got it all ready to go. Aaron, if you don't mind, we could introduce you to the YouTube channel. What is it that you do here and what are we going to be doing to the car today?
Yeah, I'm Aaron, owner of AREEVE'S Performance. Obviously here we've got G8x M2 on the dyno. We have developed a tuning box for the G87 and G80 platform S58 engine, predominantly because the ECUs have to be unlocked via femto. It's quite a long process. Some people don't want to do that, nor invalidate the warranty, because as soon as you flash the DME, BMW can detect it. So we've developed a tuning box that's a plug-in tuning box, takes around 20 minutes to fit, fully removable. So if a car has to go into a dealer, it can be removed. There's no trace of it. And we offer both a stage 1 and stage 2 options. We developed it originally on our G80 M3 with great gains. On completely stock hardware, we were seeing just over 600 horsepower. With a OPF delete on it as well, we were seeing just over 630. But I say it's completely plug and play with no trace to it whatsoever, and it's becoming quite a popular option.
Yeah. So you obviously developed this on your M2, and you've got out there as well.
So initially developed on the G80 M3, then done on the M2 because there is a few little differences where it does work slightly different. Obviously our M2 is the UK's first club sport build. We had to get that built quite quickly, took it out to the ring last year, and Dale Lomas at Bridge to Gantry drove it as well and was really impressed with the car.
So you mentioned there's a slight difference between the G87 and the G80 that you had as well. What sort of difference is it? Is it a different in boost? Is it throttle? Are there any difference in internals, or is it all the same?
No, internals, physical hardware of the car is exactly the same. BMW have just changed the software slightly. The DME is actually the same, just slightly different software variant. Runs a little bit less boost. Actually has a throttle limit in it as well, and a little bit less timing. Obviously BMW don't want the M2 to be the same power as the M3.
No, of course not. Yeah. So if we were going to do like an actual take the ECU out and stuff like that, you could make it exactly the same.
It'd be exactly
but with
the
this piggyback, we're going to be just slightly below what you would have had with the G80. But this box is fully compatible with the G80 and G81 platform.
Complete plug and play. Anyone can either fit it in their driveway. It literally takes about 15-20 minutes to fit.
So. And so just a quick one, the difference between this and maybe like a JB4 box is that they do very similar things. The difference here is that Aaron has actually developed the tune himself on the road with your car, is that right?
That's right, yeah. Obviously spent hours and hours of development on our dyno as well, just to make it really good and driving it on the road as well, where we made a few little changes.
First things first, we're going to see what the stock car makes, and then what's the steps after that?
Yeah, so we'll run the car now as stock just to make sure it's healthy, because sometimes you actually quite find that there is issues with a car that a customer's not aware of. So we'll run it now, then install the box, obviously then run it on its base setting and tweak it until I'm happy with it. But yeah, we'll look forward to the improvements.
Wicked, let's do it.
Aaron, what's it going to run then, stock?
About 480.
480?
Stock car. Yeah.
Okay, we'll see.
So obviously we've just done a stock run on this car. As you can see, 470 horsepower at the flywheel, 540 Newton meters of torque. So not quite far off my prediction. So we'll get
470.
Yeah, so yeah, it's good. We'll let the car cool down a little bit, fit the box and run it again.
So the Piggyback ECU is now on the car and you cannot see that it's there. I mean, obviously this is like a spaghetti junction of cables anyway, but to the untrained eye, this looks exactly as it did before. And obviously once the engine cover is on it, it's going to be completely concealed. So very nice, tidy way of modifying the engine and yeah, hopefully going to deliver the gains. Well, we're about to find out. So let's get the engine turned on.
What do you think it's going to get then, Jack?
Now we've done like 470 stock, I'm thinking like 560, 550.
I'm going for 576.
576.
Yeah, 100 brake horsepower plus gain.
You reckon?
Yes.
I'm gonna be pessimistic, so I can be nicely surprised. I'm gonna go 566.
Yeah, and then we've also just found out that after this is done, Aaron needs to take this for a test drive, and Jack's a really good passenger, so Jack's gonna passenger with him.
Is that true? Do I have to do that? The car has now been tuned. We've just dynoed it, and what have we made? About an extra 100 horsepower? What we at?
Literally bang on 100 horsepower and 120 Newton meters of torque. So you can see on the dyno graph, the thin red line here is the previous stock power, 470 horsepower. The thick red line is now the power as it is now, 570. The orange line, original torque of 540 and now 665. But you can see the difference is throughout the rev range, all the way through, not just in one area.
Yeah, it's not like spiky, it's literally just everywhere.
Just nice, really nice smooth power. So that comes from obviously just developing these boxes to get the power delivery like that.
Yeah. And actually it's smoothened off the curve at the top.
Yeah, whereas originally it would flatten off and drop away, it now pulls right to the red line.
Yeah, it's a lot more natural in terms of how the power drops off. So we're now going to put the car back together, get the strut brace back on, engine cover back on, and take it out on the road and see what it feels like. So the car is now tuned. Aaron's taken us out on it to sort of experience it. He needs to sort of make sure everything's all running all good as well. But yeah, I'm about to sort of feel what this feels like, an extra 100 horsepower. We're now swapping over to GoPro. Really silly, like, they weren't like a big banner boost, was there?
And that's what some people say, oh, they're waiting for like a big boost, but the way I like to tune something is like that. Yeah. Because it makes it really drivable. Yeah. It's not spiky, it's not...
so like, we're set up in Sport at the moment for comfort. You don't think we need Sports Plus, basically?
No. Especially round here, because these roads are quite bumpy, put it into dampen in Sport and it just bounces around.
Because Sport is basically just throttle response. Yeah. There's no effect on power.
No, it's exactly the same. The only way that you can adjust that is when you tune one of these, like properly.
Yeah, you can change the
I can change the throttle maps so that Sport and Comfort, and I can also limit the torque as well. Okay. So that in Comfort you can dial the torque down and stuff like that.
Sort of speeds, does it?
They're just so competent.
It seems like the map is very progressive though.
Very progressive.
That's what I mean, how I dial the toe in on these is to just make the rear, if it's going to let go, it just will slide rather than being snappy.
Yeah.
And by giving a little bit of toe out on the front as well, just gives it a lot more front end than normal.
I can't believe how much like grip it feels like it's got just from the passenger seat. What the hell?
What do you think about the Cobra suspension?
It's really nice to be fair.
Right, it's lovely, doesn't it?
For a set of springs, it drives really well.
I can't believe how much grip this fucking car's got with 70 slicks in the pissing rain. Oh, fucking hell.
Feeling up in there.
Yeah.
come over to the ring.
It seemed to be alright. I think it's in this car, where this car feels so safe.
It really does.
You look at the speedo, you don't feel safe. But
yeah, every now and again I'll glance over and I'll be like,
I took a customer down this road years ago in an E46 M3 in the dry.
Yeah.
And I genuinely, we got back into the village and I looked over at him and he looked like he'd died.
White
he was
as
just
a sheet.
white as a sheet.
What's your opinion on the E46?
I love them. They're a great car if you look at them for what they are. Do you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't have one now. I've had 3 or 4 E46 M3s over the years, and they're great for what they are, but you can't compare them with something like this, can you? You know,
No.
they're completely different things.
That's been a topic of conversation, isn't it, in the office now? If we were like, because a lot of people say, oh, E46 is the best M3 ever, but I've heard a lot of other people sharing different opinions to that now. I was just saying they're not quite as well sorted as.
I think genuinely think the best M3 right now is a G8.
Yeah.
Because it has everything. Some people will say, oh no, it's too modern, blah blah blah. But that's what makes it good. You've got all, like that Touring I've got now, you've got all the convenience of everything. Big boot, take the kids in it, go away, go shopping, whichever. But yet you put it down a road like that and it'll outpace anything.
Yeah, it is crazy.
You know, and an E46 M3 would never have the pace of something like this down a B road.
But I do also think people look at them through like rose tinted spectacles, because they were like the last, whereas the straight six, which is obviously a typical BMW engine, like they were the last of like the analog maybe M car, you could argue. But I mean, arguably I'd say the F80 is like an analog car now, like, really, wouldn't you?
Do you know F80s? We obviously have a lot of them in.
Yeah.
And they've like the G80 has made a maze very quickly.
Yeah,
like you just get in one now and the DCT is clonky and everyone said that the 8-speed auto was the wrong gearbox for these, but it just is not at all. It's so good.
What's the gearbox remake? SXP on these. The gear shifts are ridiculous.
They are, yeah.
The same gearbox obviously is in the like the Supras, all the B58 engines as well. And Nath, how quick did the box feel in your Supra?
Oh,
it felt amazing. Yeah, obviously on the M4, but I don't know what it was with that car, but it literally felt like a DCT on that car, didn't it?
Yeah.
I've not driven your M4 yet properly, like hooning it in that gearbox, so
I had XHP on my M3 and it was just awesome.
It's really quick.
Can we do XHP on this, or do you have to?
No, I just have to plug my laptop in, that's all. So don't take very long at all. Stick it on if you want.
Might as well put XHP on then.
Right, we just went out in the car. It feels amazing. I'm shocked because I've actually not been able to properly pin it in the car. I've never been passenger in it, at least. And piss in the rain, semi-slicks, nearly 600 horsepower at the rear wheels. You would have thought that we would have been in a bush by now, but it just hooked up. Car felt amazing. Power delivery was literally like smooth as anything. Like, you did not feel like you were doing the speed you were doing. But one of the things we were chatting about on the way back was the gearbox. The ZF8 that's in this car feels incredible, but there is that little step forward. And luckily, Aaron has a laptop here and we have the XHP software which you can put on this car. It's going to make the shifts a lot faster and should make this feel even more berserk. One thing also, it is pissing the rain outside, so I'm not going to be able to do a full overview on how it feels and how it drives at the moment, but rest assured we're going to come back to that. We'll do some track stuff and I'll let you know what the car feels like once the sun obviously comes out and blesses us. And also there's some other bits we need to do, like CSL steering and stuff, so we're getting there though. This is Aaron's proper time attack F87. He's been trying to sell me some bits for the engine, but mate, do you want to walk us around what this is?
Yeah, so just a brief one. Obviously that's our time attack car. We've been developing for about 2 years now. Came second in the time attack championship this year, missed out by 5 points, which is a bit annoying. But obviously we ran the car at circa 520 horsepower for this season, but we've since put PR750 turbo on, port meth, and a few other little bits and pieces. It's now making 620 horsepower and
on an N55 F87.
Big thing we've done now with this is taken weight out of it. So we've taken 112 kilos out of it now, starting off with a carbon vented bonnet, so this is which is all carbon, but the engine looks very clean. Yeah, and pretty standard really. ITG panel filter, I say port meth injection. Yeah, a good friend of mine had that sticker made for me, which is quite funny.
Yeah.
And yeah, Dorch stage 2 pump, M5, M6, S63 injectors, PS750 turbo. But so the main part is taking weight out of it.
Yeah.
Like we had some.
What suspension is it running?
So this is on.
So you've got these are the external reservoirs.
Intrax 1K2.
Okay.
And then we've got Alcons on it as well, but they're lightweight race calipers they do. So it's the same as what comes on the M2 CS Racing from factory BMW. But the main key fix we're trying to do is taking weight out of it. Like the doors are from Schirmer in Germany, and each door is 5 kilos.
Wow.
But what we've also tried to do is maintain all the OEM usability as a full club sport car. All the factory window runners, door cards, everything is all in it. You can see like how we had our graphics done in, we've actually lacquered over the carbon as part of this graphics. Don't think you can see it, it's quite cool.
Oh yeah. So obviously as well, with the F87 they did not come with a carbon roof from factory. So this has been installed retrospectively. I believe this is an RKP carbon fibre roof. Is this RKP or Edison Composites?
No, that is genuine BMW M Performance.
Genuine M Performance, wow, okay.
Carbon roof.
Oh yeah, you can see from the cross hatching.
But so we've maintained all of the glass in it, all the original usability, still got aircon, all the CarPlay. It's just a really, really nice fast road / club sport use car.
So a day has passed since the car has been tuned, and on the way back I wanted to get a little bit of video with Jack driving, but honestly it was raining so much it was a little bit sketchy. But today is a lovely dry day, and in my hand I've got Jack's G87 M2 key. So I'm on the way to his house now to go pick it up because he's in a meeting, and I'm gonna go take it out for a little drive, and I want to compare it to how it almost feels to my M4. My M4's around 750 brake horsepower, but it's X-Drive, and Jack's G87 is 570 brake horsepower now, but rear-wheel drive, so it'll be interesting to take it for a quick little drive. So, without further ado, I will meet you shortly in Jack's G87 M2. So now I'm in the G87, I'm just gonna set the GoPro up very quickly and go for a little drive. Also, I hope all of you are having a lovely Christmas. I planned for this video to come out on Boxing Day, so enjoy your Christmas. I hope you all had a nice Christmas dinner, all that turkey and whatever, yeah, lovely. But more importantly, 95% of you are not subscribed, so please make sure you subscribe, because this is literally my job, and it gets me and Jack out of the office actually doing some cool stuff. I've got a lot of cool stuff planned for 2024. Jack's actually booked a drift day for the G87 M2, so yeah, get this video to 500 likes at least, or I'm getting sacked. It's a fairly damp day, but it's dry. It's not raining at the moment, so hopefully this should be quite a good test. I'm going to try and get them ADO 9s on the back up to some sort of temp before I start giving it anything. I'm just heading out to some nice country roads. So one thing I've noticed straight away is obviously now he's got the, like, even I'm going low speed at the moment, but one thing I've noticed straight away is the XHP gearbox map. It makes this gearbox shift so much faster. This car sounds mad as well. See, the problem with my car, where the exhaust is so loud I can't hear the interior intake, whereas this you can hear the intake and it sounds amazing. But yeah, that gearbox absolutely blips through gears so nicely, and you don't get that weird delay. So normally what this car would do without the gearbox tune, you shift and then you get like a boom and then it changes gear, whereas now, like even at low speed you can feel it. Instant shift, like there's nothing at all. It's me in MDM, so traction half off. We'll see what it's like. It's quick. Yeah, it is fairly quick. MDM's allowing like a small amount of slip, but keeping me in line. It's this the gearbox map, I can't lie, the thing that I've noticed the most from stock to how it is now is got to be the gearbox map. It's just it's very snappy. But the thing you've got to be careful with the car being rear wheel drive is if you've revved out quite far and then you shift up, so say for instance you shift from second to third and you're quite high up in the rev range within second, you're going to provoke the wheels to spin a bit more than what the normal gearbox map would do, just because it's so instant and you're straight back on power. So you've kind of got to be a little bit more on edge when shifting compared to what you normally would. What I'm gonna do, we'll just try a little DSC off from standstill and see what happens. You know what though? So as you can see, there was a lot of spin with him first and second. As I put it into third, feathered the throttle a little bit, he started to get a nice amount of grip. And what I must say, what I'm noticing massively is how progressive this tune is compared to mine. So when mine comes on power, it is brutal in rear wheel drive. Very, very nice. A little bit there. I am kind of like provoking the car though, seeing how much I can sort of go with it before it starts to give out on grip. But the nice thing is, as Aaron said, how this car's been set up now in terms of geo, when this car does come out, it's coming out ever so smoothly. Very controllable, a lot more controllable than what it was before. It kind of used to snap out quite aggressively. Now this is almost like smoothly coming out when you've slightly overstepped the limit. So I'm going to be completely honest with something, and this has genuinely caught me by surprise. I'll probably say the most fun BMW that I've driven is Jack's OG F87 M2, which is stage 1, or like my E36 or whatever. And I usually find these new BMWs quite numb. But now with that extra little bit of power and keeping you on the edge of your seat a lot, also whilst having loads of grip, I would probably say this is one of the most fun BMWs I've driven to date. Anyway, I hope you're all enjoying your Boxing Day, if you've watched it on Boxing Day or whenever you're watching it. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you drop us a like, comment or anything like that. Let us know what you think in the comments. Also, one thing that I do want to ask of you, if you've got any video ideas or stuff that you want to see us do, anything like that, just pop it below, because I literally read through all the comments anyway. And I would like to get some more ideas, because it's interesting to find out what the audience actually wants to see, and then I can work out videos off the back of that. Anyway, I'm waffling now. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, comment, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. And if you haven't already, check out some of our other videos, because we have done some pretty cool builds this year that you might want to see.